Hello, and thank you for tuning in once again. You are tuned in to The Encourager, and we are going to go ahead and continue through the second of two personal journals that cover the last 10 years. And again, this particular journal covers 2016 until 2014. And so I'm actually in the process of finishing this one. And so, again, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in, subscribers that have been with me for a while, new subscribers, returning listeners. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, your energy, your love, and starting to get messages and from new subscribers, and so that's great, and I really consider that a treat to get a message, whether it's great to connect with you, or a thank you, or it could be a question, or it could be a correction. It doesn't matter. It's always good to exchange energy and spend time in that way together. So let's go ahead and get going. So again, for those of you who are new subscribers, Most High has asked me to share this journal. I know for a couple of reasons. One, to help me to be, or not to be, to see or be reminded of his promises. Okay? And even though hurt has come and damage has come to steal those dreams, to suppress those dreams, those goals, those things, Most High is bringing back to my remembrance through my sharing with you these things that he's promised to me, and hopefully your journal can be that to you, a reminder and an encouragement. Okay, so so this is something that happened. I went to the store for incense, and the cashier says, out of the blue, something about her lip, out of the blue. Oh, her lip is swollen. And I thought, interesting. And I thought someone else might be, someone else's lip or whatever might be swollen or something. Like, why would someone just randomly in the store share that with me? I said, maybe a bit, or maybe something bit you, I said. She shows me the urinary area, which evidently it was. I just think it's strange that someone's willing to do that. Like, how many people are willing to just come up to you and be like, a cashier, yeah, my lip's irritated. Here, take a look. Like, isn't that strange? I don't know. I was told, I once had a woman. This is how oblivious I used to be. I'm a little better today. I can't say much better, but I'm a little better today. But I remember I used to be so oblivious to like women hitting on me, like women flirting with me and that sort of thing. Unless it was blatantly obvious. I really was just not, again, and to a large degree, I still am that way. So, but I see the little hints and clues and things there a little better, I think, today. But I remember I took my friend Marcia, I took her husband to a pawn shop, and the cashier at the pawn shop was a nice looking young woman from what I can remember, but anyway, I'm standing in there, and he's from Costa Rica, so he was not very confident in his English speaking. So I went into the store with him, and all of that, and was speaking to speaking to this person, and she's like, "Oh, I love your hair. Can I touch it?" And I was like, "No, like, weirdo, get away from me, right?" And then I remember telling a friend, and I don't know who it was. It might have been Ben and Marsha. I don't remember. And they were like, "You dummy," whoever it was. They were like, they were hitting on you. Like, no woman asked you if she could touch any part of you unless, like, I was like, what? Like, why would someone ask to touch my hair? Why didn't they just ask me for my number? Like, kind of, that, I don't know. Anyway, funny little story. But yeah, that's how I am. I was told to take, and I've also been shy. So also with that being said, I'm also not one for being the one to take the first step, generally speaking. That, or historically, I will say, that definitely has changed. Definitely today, if I see someone and I have a sense to say something, I have no problem saying something. Okay. I was told to take either 6 apples or 6 bananas to a bank. Oh, yep, I did that. Yep. I don't know why I was told to do that, but I did it. Yep. And I left those apples in a bag at a bank. Okay. So now, see, again, these revelations are starting to come in. So I've been through the dark night of the soul. I'm done with all of that. That had happened. I'd come out of that a year prior. So I was starting to, now I was really starting to ascend and fast. I was really starting to take off and really starting to see things clearly. What was going on with the Scorpio and the Rock, and meaning the Rock of Central Florida. That's located in Sanford, Florida, for our new subscribers. I was a part of that house for 20 years. And so seeing all of that from a higher perspective, and just revelations were just pouring in. And I was meditating again. I didn't have anything else to do. Everything had dried up. No clients, no anything. And so I just had me and my dog, and witchcraft had been done on the vehicle. So I was walking to the grocery store. So lots of revelations and things that were coming in. And so that's why that says shut the front door. Divine Goddess Enlightenment. You're going global. Yeah. So this is just another download. Yeah. It's just another. Yeah. So let's see. Soul Tribe communities. No, not churches. I have a slight something for the religious organization called the church today, in case anyone ever knew. And in fact, I had one even as a kid. As a kid, when I would see them jumping around, hooping, hollering, and they running around the church and all of that, grew up, Judy was a part of Christ Temple in Joliet, Illinois, and a part of another church too that was closer to the projects, although I don't know if the name of that church was Mount Zion or Mount Moriah, something. I don't know. I don't remember the name of that. But anyway, it was in Joliet, Illinois. Both of them were. And I remember watching them run around, shouting, hooping, hollering. I remember all of that, right? And again, for one, I never thought the extra hollering, I never thought that was necessary. Someone once told me that they have a preaching school. I almost vomited in my mouth. Like, why do you have a preaching school? You mean you need to show someone how to speak the truth that's given to them from Most High? Like, is there a method to it? Like, what does that involve? But yeah. So, oh, okay. So it's been 8 years since Judy had retired, moved her to Florida. Okay. Looking outside at the moon. It's a Scorpio eclipse, the last for 20 years. As the moon rises, I am seeing a movie from the past all the way through marriage and new seed. Amazing. So again, that's another extra esoteric travel. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is a continuation. What did we miss? Oh, nothing. Okay. I just write wow all over the paper. So I'm writing down some names that I continuously was hearing. And some of these names are just people that are just associated with me. Like, some of these people genuinely love me. Others of these people, are karmic energies. And so just writing down different energies and things. So yeah, so I mentioned that it gets dark because during 2023, I was definitely in and out of dark and light energy a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Probably until I left Florida, and then it subsided quite a bit. But I still had to deal with a little bit even after I left Florida, but not nearly as much as when I was there. When I was there, because of all the gang stalking, it was severe. And so we're about to get into some of that dark energy. And again, don't be troubled. We're about to get into some of that. And that's what this journal is for. Any journal. It's for alchemizing. It's for releasing. A journal is for releasing. That's why nothing happens until the pen is poised above the paper. You have to, right? You have to release that. Put that through that ink, right? Release that onto the paper. Reminded of Al Green. Put it on paper. That's a good song. Confirmation with a knock. I don't even know what that was. That's funny. 5/6/23. Not a winner. 5D. Walking. Oh, in the school and writing in the car. Again, I started writing down these things, so it might sound like jumbo. I apologize. Okay, so depressed and frustrated since Saturday, pretty much. See? I have no more questions to ask and see. Yeah. So this is just me. Yep. So that's dark energy. Okay. Something that I had written down that I'd realized, and wanted to make sure to remember, there are certain letter sounds, and I'm going to go a lot more into this, especially because of my Celtic background. I'm going to go a lot more into this moving forward, but I've always wondered why I hum a lot. Okay, so even when I'm nervous, I hum. Okay, when I'm happy, I hum. When I'm meditating, I hum. I was told I think we read it in this journal, maybe a different journal, right? About Holy Spirit, and this was when I was still a part of the Rock. Holy Spirit had told me that my humming is something, or yeah, or when I hum, something happens, or something like that. I'd have to search through the journal, or even if it's even in this one, I don't even know. But something along those lines, and I recall us going over that recently, so I'm thinking it's in one of these two journals. But anyway, I hum a lot, and especially again in meditation. And for me, what that does is it's a grounding mechanism. And also what I have found out is different frequencies do different things and speak to different chakras. Okay. And so, so like this tone, as opposed to, it speaks to a different, it alerts a different chakra in me, right? Kind of thing. And again, I was gonna say it may not make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. So, but perhaps that's another tool for you to try. And again, I found that helpful. There are some things that I've heard about that I've not found helpful that I've tried. And again, that's what all the tools are for. Okay. You don't need every tool in your toolbox in order to fix the car most times, right? You just need a few of them, and the right ones, right? You don't need every tool. A hammer isn't good for everything. Some frustrated people might think so. But a hammer is not good for everything, okay? So, yeah. So that's what I found. And so I found that certain letters, like we call them, the majority of these we call vowels, okay? So the A's, the A's, the O's, the ums, right? So, Om, right? Okay, so these different sounds, they bring about different esoteric energies, different frequencies, it's a different way of communicating with deities. I'm reminded of E.T., the movie, and I was a kid when that movie came out, and so the way of communicating with E.T., with his whatever he was doing, was very different than the way you and I communicate, right? And so I found that to be very, very, very interesting, and helpful when it comes to, again, meditating, quieting the self, or what have you. I found that using those vowels, and this is what I've written down here. And I wrote down a note there. It says to vocalize 2 minutes, but yeah. Okay. You see it says for heart intuition, and you use the O meditation for the U, right? Your solar plexus. And so, yeah. All right. And I do use that information when meditating. Okay, I definitely use those letters and those thought processes and things. Okay. Ancestors holding royal court. I received my crown. teachings and lessons. No one is more anointed to pray for you than you. Okay, that's important to remember. So you need to stop going to the priest and stop going to the pastor and stop going. You are your own healer. You are your own resurrector. You are your own creator. You are your own prophet, pastor, evangelist, preacher, teacher. You are your own Christ. You are your own Christos. You are your own promised land. You are your own Garden of Eden. That is you. Okay? No one else. Continue to look to others. We continue to be codependent. Okay? That's what the government systems are. That's what the religious system is. It makes you codependent. If you don't come here on the regular basis, I will make you feel guilty when I see you in the store and I ask you, where have you been? Because you have an obligation. Your obligation is to be a robot and show up here each and every week and give me your money. Because it's a different type of tax that just takes your money. The divine creator doesn't need your money. He blesses you with it to prosper here. He doesn't give it to you so that you can give it to a religious organization that has falsified doctrine. 5:13:23. A gift to use. A gift to use from Maji Got the Tea. She's awesome. Anybody who knows Maji Got the Tea. Her tagline, right, is God hired me, who gonna fire me? That's Maji Got the Tea. Dream interpretation. So someone might be from New York. Someone might be a rapper. She's from New York and a rapper or singer, rapper, right? But yeah, she's she's awesome. I think I first came across her like towards the end of my Dark Night of the Soul, like at the end of 2021. Like I came across her page or something like that. She was just getting started. Dream interpretation, communicate with dreamer. Oh, elusive walker. Chosen ones 144 deck. Maybe that's something she was saying. Oh, yeah, probably something she was saying. Maybe it was something she was saying in a reading or something. I'm not sure. Dream. The Scorpio and someone looking like my former wife. So the Scorpio and someone looking like my former wife, again, that's her maiden name, was leaping on a bed. What? One complimented me about my weight. Then Katina slides off the bed while her pants slide. While her pants slide down, revealing her butt. Is this actually Justina? Oh, shit. I'm like, where is this going? Oh, shit. So I had this dream. Oh, man. This is hilarious. So I had this dream, evidently, that The Scorpio that I was dating, for those of us who are new, the Scorpio is the one who kicked me into my dark night of the soul in 2021. We were supposedly going to be getting married on 12/11. I met her through Justina Miranda, and who are the Scorpio later became a part of the Rock. The same weekend we started dating one another in 2019. And Justina was already a part of the Rock and had been for some years at this point. Okay. And I had been even prior to that. I had been since 2020 or since 2002 via audio cassette tapes cassette tapes. And then 2003, I joined physically after I got out of the military. Okay. So again, just quick background for those of us who are newer subscribers. And so Katina is my second wife. Okay. She was with me during the transplant. She did not go with me to the transplant. I chose Pittsburgh as the transplant facility. There's a siren, for confirmation. And so, I left her. So I am having this dream that the Scorpio and someone who I thought at the beginning of the dream was my former wife. Come to find out, she lives in Daytona Beach, by the way. Okay, they live 30 miles from each other. Okay, the Scorpio and my former wife does. And so that's one reason why, I needed to get away from Central Florida. It was like way too crowded. And a baby's mother, my daughter's mother's there. Like it was way too much. So anyway, right. And not that I was running away from them or anything, but it was just time for a change. It was time for a cool change. Yeah, it's time for a cool change. So yes, right. So I was thinking it was Katina, and then I realized that it might be Justina. Now, for those of us who listened to the last journal reading, you know that Justina is the Scorpio's best friend. Okay, right? And there is fairly good amount of reason for me to believe that they share more than coffee. Okay, they share more than phone conversations. You know what I'm saying? So, in fact, the Scorpio lied to me when I last spoke with her and called her and asked her if she likes women or if she was a lesbian. She said no. And then abruptly told me to stop calling her or not to call her or something. So that is very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I had that dream almost exactly a year ago, 5/14/23, almost exactly a year ago. So maybe Justina's husband, Sam, is good with that. Maybe that's what they were trying to get me involved in. Their whatever relationships. I think it's interesting that her best friend, after she left her polygamist husband, I said polygamist. Damn, I did not mean that. Shit. Well, there you go. After she left her narcissistic husband, okay, who has a fetish with underage girls, okay. His name is Omar. His last name's Roman. Including with Melissa, his girlfriend's daughter currently, who's 16 or 17. He has a fetish with, he has an issue. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. Yep. So I asked her if she was. She said no. I was going to mention something. I forgot what it was. So 5/15/23. A love letter. Okay. Before I met you, we knew one another. Before the papers, Heaven held a wedding. Sophisticated, I call you. Stunning, you are. We've only just begun. I love you forever and throughout the lifetimes. So whoever that's for, that's who it's for. I don't know what to say about that. It's definitely not for anybody in the past that I've dated this lifetime. I can tell you that much. And that's for all of them. And again, that's nothing. Some of them were fine. There was no ill will. It just ended. Ended on a good note. There's no harm, no foul. But that's not to anyone that I've dated in the past in this lifetime. Just a heads up for anyone who's wondering. 5/16/23. Shooting star as I open the bedroom curtains prior to sunrise. Dr. James Kennedy. He has some great insight if you are looking for, and he's passed, I don't know when he passed and all of that. So let me take a look then. He has some great messages on. He pastored a church for years down in, I want to say, Fort Lauderdale. And he has some great teachings on your zodiac in Scripture. And so if you want to know where Virgo is in the Bible and all of this, he provides a great message in finding these things between Genesis and Revelation. We know that there's a lot more that's not being shared generally with us, right? But we can still find online again, like the Book of Nicodemus, like the Cave of Treasures, like so we know that there are books that we can find, text canon that we can find, right? But even within what we have been given, he does a very good job of pointing out our zodiac signs between Genesis and Revelation. Okay, so if you're interested in that, I encourage you to go on to YouTube and look up Dr. James Kennedy. And so let's find out. Let's see. Because maybe whenever someone's name comes up, perhaps there's a birthday or something, or the day they passed or something that's important. 33 minutes exactly when I glanced over at the timer. That's important to us. So let's see here for the internet is running really slow. So you might feel like things are moving slow. I do, to guess, to some degree. All right, well, must not be of importance because it's not working. All right, so continuing on. Yes. Oh, yep. He served 47. He served 47 years at a church in Fort Lauderdale. 47 might be significant. 74 might be significant. 74 is important for me. 74 is important to that, significant for that Scorpio. Oh, that was someone I knew growing up. Mm-hmm. Lemurian activation. Okay. So I did find out that I was part of the Lemurian tribe. By the way, I just looked up and I saw 11/3. And that's also the date that the sperm donor's father was born. That's also the same day that the sperm donor was sentenced to 40 to 60 years in a Michigan State prison. Happy to be a part of that witness team in 2014. Okay. So, again, if you want to know more about that and about growing up in a polygamist family and all of that, then certainly feel free to visit the older videos from last year. Those were some of the first videos I posted. His birthday is coming up on the 25th, and I will be sharing a lot more probably on that day in regards to him. Okay? So 5/17/23. Reading confirmation in sync. Starseed Zayed, Money Magnet, Heart of Ruth. He's already selected your true match. Okay. There are options, but I am going with the Lord's instruction. That's great. So there are options, but I'm going with the Lord's instruction. Hopefully that's what all of us are saying. Again, I don't know if it's required of everyone to completely relinquish your free will. I don't know if that's required of everyone, but it was required of me. Okay? And I know that it is often required of other earth angels, star seeds, ascended masters that descend here. My third eye is like vibrating down through my nose. And so, yeah, to me, that's what I had to do. And I will be honest with you. I will be the first to say that I'm an extremist. One way or the other, love it or hate it. That's how I am. So, I remember telling this guy we were doing like some sports or something at the Rock. It might have been softball or something. By the way, I was happy to be a part of it's interesting. So when I got to the Rock of Central Florida, right, we started up a softball team. I'm leaving the Rock of Central Florida in 2022, and a couple years prior, they had started up a softball team. I played on that team, and we won the championship. That in 2022 when I left. When I got there 20 years prior, it was softball. A lot of different people back then. In fact, me, Matt, you've heard me mention his name a number of times. Him and his wife, they have a rainbow baby. And they have a promise seed that's here physically. Their son is one of the seeds that I sowed into for a year before he was birthed. I think him and I are the only ones, and that's important. That's really important. It's important because his name is Matthew. Back then, he was probably 19 years old or something. Maybe not even 19. And today he's in his mid-30s or late 30s, whatever. All right? Him and I are the only two people who played on those early teams 20 years ago and played on that team in 2022. 20 years apart. Him and I are the only ones. That's significant. They have a son that they sowed whose name is Matthew. My brother Matthew passed on 8/4. I'll have to look back through my book to see when their son Matthew passed. I'd have to look back in my journal. I know it's in there. Right? So, yeah. Vision 518. A murdered female discovered in a closet, or large cabinet. Someone That's the sperm donor. And a young female sees the body also, but does not appear concerned. Mushrooms, part of the witchcraft spells. Okay, so they were using, I guess whoever was doing witchcraft against me, I guess Most High was letting me know, my angels, ancestors, letting me know that they were using mushrooms or something. Her true identity is a devil witch, and I wrote that, I drew that image. Very, very sad, very, very sad looking image there, right? Profile. 519:23. Strong meditation declarations, clearing hearing. It says, I am deceased over and over. Yeah, that happens. Now processing, again, clearly hearing these. They have been released, broke free. Something broke today. You are in a... okay, so that was letting me know that I had gotten to some other level and was being notified that I was an ascended master. Soul or star chakra. Okay, and so these are chakras that are located above your crown. Everyone talks about the 7 main chakras, and this is why I believe this is how, in fact, this is not, I know, this is how I know, I should say that higher ascensions, higher, it's ever increasing. So we all, most people, even myself, when I refer to aligning your chakras or clearing your chakras, I'm talking about the 7 main chakras. We know what those are, right? But then there are also, we have a total of 114. Okay? That number is important. So we have 114. 114 chakras. So several of them above the crown chakra. The crown chakra is the one that's closest to your skull. Okay? But above that, you have universal chakra, you have star chakra, you have a soul chakra, you have, right? And so I had started, a year ago or whatever, I had started focusing even on, going on those higher chakras and focusing on those higher chakras. So, and I think I'm realizing that there are more and that I could reach them and I could activate them and that sort of thing, right? After days, maybe 5, of not drinking any water, Sadie is drinking water again. After I released her to pass if need be. Okay, and that's my Connie Corso, right? And so maybe I'll put her picture up for this reading. I don't know if that'll be appropriate because it's a dog and I'm talking about my journal, but it doesn't matter, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so ironically, 4404 on the timer. I'm just seeing this download and synchronicity. Guess how old Sadie, she's a Cane Corso, guess how old she was when me and the Scorpio picked her up from the breeder? 11 months. The Scorpio and I was born in the 11th month. Okay? For me, 11s are important. The month, day, and year I was born breaks down to an 11. Age of 11, I also took that train trip with the sperm donor's father from Chicago to New Orleans, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, to Houston, and back to Chicago. Witchcraft capital of the world, Houston, Texas. Steve Parker was actually in Houston at that same time. I did not know him, but for synchronicity's sake, I just mention it. He's the senior minister at the Rock of Central Florida. He was told that Most High searched the earth to join me to him. He was told that when I first got there. Not by me, by another minister, in front of everyone. But Sadie was not drinking water, and I had already become aware of the witchcraft attempting to be done on my dog. Okay? I could see the difference in her eyes from time to time, literally, and her behavior. And so I started to sage around her. I started to, if I did an egg cleanse on myself, I would rub the egg around her also. I would cleanse her, right? Her chakras and all. I would do all of that to her. That's why she's my spirit dog. She's not with me today. I had to get rid of her. But she's always with me. Okay? Ironically, she was 3 when I got rid of her. And I shouldn't say got rid of her when I had to release her. Okay? So, all of that might be important to you. Perhaps there's something significant other than the individual who you might consider significant in this situation, divine masculine or divine feminine, but they're not nearly as significant as you might thought. At least not in the way they are for your ascension process to the negative, but they are not as significant as in whatever pedestal we held them up on. Okay, they're not significant in that way. Okay. All right. Tree removers are clearing land across the street. Spiritual clearing. Okay. And again, I always encourage us to pay attention to everything around you. You go to the store, pay attention to the receipt. What's your total on the receipt? Okay. When you're having a conversation with someone at the grocery store, they just start talking to you, or at the gas station, or so listen to what they're saying. Okay, you're having a conversation. I was thinking about this, and I really want to share a lot of these things, but I mean, of course, they can be endless. But I really want to get us really, 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 really tuned in. Abraham Hicks talks about a frequency. You know, if you want to listen to this song, you have to be on this frequency in order to hear this song, because if you're on that frequency, or i.e. radio station, you can't hear that song because that radio station only plays country. And if that song isn't country, the chances of you hearing that song are very slim. So what you need to do is you need to come over here and you need to turn it to this smooth jazz station, because that's the station that's far more likely to play the song that you want to hear at this time. Okay? And so what I want to do, one of the things that I want to do to really hit home for us is really helping us to see, or just pay more attention, be more consciously aware, I suppose, is the best way to sum it up. So let's say I've thought about these scenarios and how I would share them and all that. And again, that you could be endless with these scenarios, right? You can go forever with what ifs and hypotheticals and all of that. So one situation, very quickly, I'm trying to give one: women, men, children. Try to give like a couple of examples. So here's one. So you're talking to your friend on the phone, okay? They are going through a tough relationship, or a tough situation in a relationship. You believe they need to leave, but you're their best friend. You're their good friend. You're their confidant. You understand they're going through it. You know how they are. They have to work through it a certain way. You know their moods and their tolerances, and you know all that sort of thing, right? Okay, and so they're on the phone and they're like, da 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 da, and this and that, and then, I mean. Does it sound like he's cheating on me? Like, and they're like, right? That sounds crazy, right? Right? That sounds weird. And then you have the TV on in the background. And then the commercial comes on and it says 100% guaranteed. But you're not paying attention at the moment that she says, like, is that what's happening? Your friend's like, am I crazy? Like, is he, that sounds like he's cheating. And it's 100% guaranteed, or your money back, right? It comes on the background, but you're not paying attention. 49.49 on the timer. You're not paying attention, so you can't tell your friend without a doubt and reassure him or her, yes, without question, they are for sure. Why? Because Most High just gave me a confirmation through the TV, guaranteed, absolutely, no question, or your money back. Right? To be that sharp, and again, not to make us paranoid, and again, that's where you have to be careful, not to be paranoid, right? But to just be aware of where you are and what's going on around you. What you're saying, and that's why I pause sometimes. I'm like, hold on. It might have been just to hear that bird. Right? But I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Right? I want us all to get to that place to where we are hovering just above the ground. Just above the ground. So our feet never really touch down, but we are close enough. And I love this analogy. I love this analogy right here. I'm seeing it. Hovering just far enough above ground and yet close enough to where we can stay in touch with it enough, because we have to exist here in the 3D until the soul leaves the body, okay, until the pneuma leaves the body, until creator's breath leaves the body, okay. Time does that, disease does that, right? What have you, right? Bad choices. And so, yeah, to be just like that. Perfect. It was 51:51. Just like that. 51:51. All right. So thank you so much as always for tuning in. Thank you so much for confirmation, for listening to me go through the journal and share these things with you. Again, now we're getting into, the last 12 months, and a lot of it is just going to be downloads, dreams, and because I haven't been in a relationship with anyone in almost 2 years. And so as far as the relationship or a relationship is concerned, a lot of it moving forward throughout the journal is just downloads from Most High, dreams, some revelations in here in regards to some siblings and that. New subscribers, I am the eldest of 17 due to the polygamist father. And so, yeah, right? So thank you so much as always for tuning in. Again, if you do not have a journal, I encourage you to get one. It is going to do wonders for you, for your healing, especially if you are a scribe or an artist of some sort. Definitely get a journal. Okay? Thank you so much as always. Again, my name's Nehru. If you would like to get in touch with me, you can do so a number of ways. My email address is theencourager333@gmail.com. You can also connect to me on any of the social media platforms that are listed in the information section of this video. Thank you so much again, and as always, be encouraged.